Hey everybody, I'm Stephen Human with Superhuman Customs, and today we have something that I wasn't really expecting to do. Generally, when I get a figure, I've got kind of an idea of, hey, this is what I'm going to use it for. Well, back when I did the steel figure, we ended up with this body. It's just a wrestler body, you know, nothing much to it. And I had this He-Man head from the time back when I did this, like a year ago. My goodness, it's been a while since I did that Barbarian figure. Well, when I got the new Dark Crisis comics from just a few months ago, they had this version of Superman where he kind of looked like Infinity from the Marvel Universe, where he was like a Starfield and looked really cool. I mean, you can see him here. It was a cool version of Superman, and I kind of wanted to do one. Well, now I have a body and a head that I can do that with. But what I'm going to do with the head here is I'm going to, because I remember I did that other Superman, I did New 52 Superman, and we switched out the hair. So he's going to get that Superman hair. It's going to go on this body. We're going to spray paint him black. We're going to make a wired cape, a fabric cape, and we are going to make this guy into the ultimate Dark Crisis Superman. So let's get moving, folks. So I got his hair off, and I actually ground down his head a little bit so that he could more easily fit this Superman hair. And as you can see, he now looks pretty good. So we're going to glue this on, and then the next stage is just to spray paint him black, and then we'll start doing some other crazy stuff to him. And before we spray paint, we just need to pull all this stuff off. All of these are like little just stupid accessories, and they come right off him. So we'll remove all these, and he'll be basically as naked as the day he was born. All right, hair's glued on. Let's blacken these guys up. Nice and simple. This is easily the simplest thing that you can do when it comes to customizing, is spray painting. It's so simple. I love it. Looking pretty good after the spray paint. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this purple paint. And remember, this is a really crappy model paint, and it damages my paintbrushes. So I'm gonna go through, I'm just gonna add some purple highlights here, like from the picture, just in a couple of different areas. Nothing too special. I just want it to have that different texture. And as you can see, it is really subtle, but that's kind of what I want. And same thing on the body. I'm just going to go around the muscles and just add some highlights. Nice and simple. And this is a slightly glossy paint, so it should really highlight all these things super nicely. So the purple turned out really nice. What I'm going to do now is you want to start with the darker. So I'm going to start putting some of the dots. I've got this purple paint. And I'm going to just go through with a toothpick and start adding dots like this all over. And those are going to be the stars. Nothing more complicated than that. And you start with the darker and you go lighter, just like with everything else. And so this is going to be the beginning of the field of stars. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to draw the first layer of the Superman shield, and I'm going to do it in fabric paint. Now, as you know from the pictures, it is a very uneven Superman sign. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to get it as well as I possibly can, but then this is the base layer, and it's going to, basically I'm going to mush it around a little bit once I get this on here, because I want the black or I want the glow in the dark to be sort of the base electrical layer of everything. So I'm going to get on a nice layer like so. And then I'm just going to kind of go like this in places and kind of pull it out so that it's got more of a almost electrified look, that it's much less, you know, uniform. Because I'm going to put another layer of the purple over the top. I'm going to put a layer of white over the top of that. So this is just the base layer. And I want this really to kind of do some cool stuff so that it can have that sort of electric look, or a very natural look. In the comic, he has a very light hair to him, almost a white glowy. So I'm going to put down first another layer of the glow-in-the-dark paint for his hair. And then I'll do a dry brush of white over the top. And that should give me the look that I want. And he'll stand out. I went through and did the eyes, as you'll see, as I was going through and doing the stars. And they look pretty cool. A little bit creepy, but super cool. What we're going to work on now is the cape. I'm going to go with the cloth. We're going to have Elise, like she did with Black Adam, put in a wire. And so I'm going to cut this in a half circle, 7 inches, and that should come out to exactly the size that we want it to be. Now I've chosen this fabric because I'm not sure if it's going to be dark enough. It's kind of a light black, a dark gray, but it's got this almost a star texture to it. So I'm going to do this one first. And if it doesn't turn out the way that, you know, if it's not dark enough when I compare it to the figure, which is still drying, which I don't have it over here, but then we'll know for sure. If I need to go black and I need to paint on the fabric, I can. But if this one works, it'd be awesome because it already has this sort of texture to it. You know what? I think this is too gray. So just to be safe, I'm going to cut it out as a black too and paint some fabric paint on it for the stars. And that way I'll have 2 choices. Yes, I think this fabric is going to work better. It's just a straight black. So now, just with fabric paint, I'm going to go through and add some stars. I'm going to start with the black and white and just kind of go through very randomly, giving very light pressure on the bottle here. And then after I've got kind of a little bit like just these little tiny dots, I'm going to go through and I'm going to add a few thicker ones here and there. Bigger stars, you know, just to anchor the rest. And this actually goes pretty fast. I know you're seeing this in fast forward motion. I know you're seeing this in like triple speed, but it is a fairly quick process. And I'm concentrating mostly on one side of the cape because I want it to look like his body does, where he's got kind of a galaxy swoosh going through and not necessarily stars everywhere. I think that'll look a little bit cooler. And if you get any like weird streaks or anything, don't worry about it. Maybe they're, you know, shooting stars or something. And a coat of white on the hair over the glow in the dark again, just like on this symbol. Want his hair to be light and have a glow. I might put some more glow in the dark paint over the top when I'm done with the white. I don't know. We'll see how everything looks. Now that's dry, I'm going to go through with the purple and add a layer on the S as well to just mute the white a little bit, because in the comic he does have another purple layer over the top of the white. And that will give me, I think, all the layers I need on this, and then we can start finishing up that cape. This guy's looking pretty good. I'm going to do some other things with some paint here in a minute, but first I want to drill some holes here on his shoulders where the cape is going to go, because I'm going to glue the cape in there once we get it done. So I'm just going to take this and drill a hole. Nice and simple. There we go. And there we go. So the plan right now is to take some of this white paint, just going to get a little bit on this paintbrush, and I'm going to flick it. And hopefully that will give us some more natural star patterns here, particularly on the cape and on him. So let's give it a try. A little bit here. That's not what we want. I don't want that. Okay, so let's get it dabbed and then get off everything we can like this. Let's see. It's not really doing what I want it to do. All right, so we made the paint wetter, and that's working more like how I envisioned it. So let's do the same, and let's get a little bit on our figure here. Let's clear coat this guy. And now we have Elise working on the cape because she's awesome. What are you doing right now, Elise?
I'm attempting to thread the needle.
It looks super easy.
It's not.
Now we're going to glue on the cape. We got our resin in place, and this is going to be interesting because I'm going to try and get it looped into the fabric and then into the hole here with the metal that I've got here. Oh, it's twisting in my hands though. This is not the funnest part of this procedure. Okay, I finally got them in, and hopefully this will work, but that was way more difficult than I expected it to be. So I don't know if this is going to quite look the way that I want it. We're going to have to experiment and play around. But that really made me angry. Really angry. And here we go. Dark Crisis Superman. Now the cape was frustrating. I'm going to have to experiment with more capes. This is only like the second cape we've done, right? We did kind of the cloak deal with Black Adam. This is the first real cape. I'm going to experiment with sewing in the pleats. I thought that I could just kind of hook the thing around and then, you know, glue it in place, and it really was kind of a pain in the butt. Having said that, I think he still looks pretty dang cool. I'm very happy with how he turned out. Not bad for what started out as a wrestler's body, a He-Man head, and a Superman toupee. So there you go. This is all a learning process. I'm lucky that it's a black cape on a black figure, so this is about the perfect experimentation that we could do. So if I was going to fail, this was the figure to do it on because it's much more difficult to see my mistakes. So here he is. I think he looks cool. He's exactly the way that I kind of envisioned him to be from the comic, and he's going to look wonderful on the McFarlane Superman shelf. So he's going to go in there with his super brethren. I'm Stephen Human. Check out StephenHuman.com for all of my sci-fi novels. If you guys need to read anything, you can check them out there. If you buy paperbacks, I will sign them for you and send them directly to you. So StephenHuman.com, and this is Superhuman Customs.